So right now, I'm really interested in interview questions. It's that season. A lot of people are flooding the market. There's a lot of competition, and we need to make sure that we're on our best game and have our best examples and are focusing on the right things. To be honest, there's a selfish reason here. I crumble. I get nervous. I get lost in what I'm saying. I forget my examples. I am too self-aware, and it just really shows, and it's not natural. And I feel like some of the value of what I've done just gets lost. And sometimes I feel like I'm an imposter. What the heck have I delivered? If I had delivered a lot of stuff, why isn't it coming to me naturally? Well, that's just not how information comes to me. I need to structure it, and I need to rehearse it, and I need to give it form. And so things don't flow out of me naturally and sound amazing. Like some people. They really irk me, by the way. I need to rehearse. I need to get better at some stuff. Interview time is about pitching. It's all about sales, not what I've done. Who cares about what I've done? It's the value I've provided. A lot of people do a lot of things, but what value did that derive? How did that make things better for the organization, for the community, for the broader stakeholders, for investors, for shareholders? There has to be some value, and you need to be able to articulate that value very, very clearly. It is all about selling yourself. You've got to be a great salesman in an interview. You're selling your offer, your services, your brand, your acumen, your experience, and you're telling them that it's going to be valuable, and you can't take anybody else but me. One of my favorite questions is,
Hey, tell us a little bit about yourself.
okay, it may not seem hard, but it is hard. And the reason why it's hard is because it's so open-ended. I mean, if you ask that question from 10 different people, you probably get 10 different answers. This is an opportunity for the sales pitch to begin. It's got to be concise. It's got to be short. You've got to set the scene. You've got to set the tone. The way you set the scene and set the tone now is going to be the way that you're actually laying the pathway for the rest of the interview. So this is actually critical. This is no time for long-winded storytelling, no ancestry information, no married life and children growing up in the early days, how you got your dog and how your dog got sick and then you took it to the vet and then it was better and your whole family celebrated. No, you don't do that.
None of that.
This is about your professional career with a tinge of your personality. Highlights of what you've delivered, highlights of your accomplishments, highlights of where you're looking to go, connecting it with the employer and the role that you're applying for. Simple as that. You've got to use sentences that begin, I have delivered, I have accomplished, I have managed, I have overseen, I have contributed, I have. You're giving a very condensed version of your resume right here. You can break it up and organize it so that you're talking about timeframes. You can start with early, don't go back for 20 years if you're old like me, go back to the last 5 or 10 years. If you've been in an organization for 10 years, talk about the last 10 years. If you've never worked for anyone, talk about your extracurricular, and you better have extracurricular, because if you don't, you're going to struggle. Because extracurricular gives you substance to talk about in the interview. Extracurricular gives you examples to bring up to answer behavioral example questions. You've got to be able to talk about side gigs that you've done and are doing as well. It's not just about your career and your career history and the companies that you've worked for. And remember, it's always about the value. It's always about how you can then replicate that value in this role. So you've got to tie it back into this role. So I'm really enjoying this interview series, to be honest with you. I think I'm going to do a lot more of these. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to do that. Be back soon. Question that really irks me sometimes is the question that a lot of people say. So that's 3 minutes of right there. Tell me about yourself. You're on show. Seriously, I had not rehearsed that at all. What I'm really good at, gave them the highlights, what makes me special, what gives me the edge, how you've overcome challenges, and what is my bag, what a bit of flavor and a bit of dimension to how I tied it back to this role. You've got to do that. You've got to tie it.
Tell us about yourself.
Straight and narrow, here I am. This is my career and this is what I've done. I will start again.